Chigozie Okonkwo is in his backyard garden in Milwaukee. It's early October, and the morning is cool and crisp, and he's determined. He's trying to grow Nigerian pumpkins back here. They are green and fluted, closer to a hanging cactus almost than anything you'd see around Halloween.
This is so cool. Are you able to cook with anything that you grow?
Yes.
Yeah?
Chigozie used to grow these in his garden in Lagos, where, unlike the Midwest, temperatures rarely drop below 65. So it might not be a surprise that these pumpkins are not doing so well.
It got so cold, so I wasn't sure what I was doing. So that's the challenge. And then here you need to spend so much time watering your garden, unlike Nigeria. When you farm, then you depend on rain.
While the pumpkins might be a bust, there's still a bounty going on back here. There are herbs and melons, and towering above everything else, even his gutters, are 10-foot stalks of corn.
It's something I started and I had passion for it. I wasn't doing it for the profit. It's just something I needed to spend my time, maybe in isolation or closer to nature. And it's something I still enjoy even here.
There's a metaphor here. This garden is a reminder of home. He brought Nigeria to Milwaukee. And even though the soil and the temperature isn't quite right, he's determined to make it work. His whole family is. Chigozie and his wife, Chioma Mba, have been in Milwaukee for 3 years. It's where they had their daughter, Sochi. They came here as teachers, using work visas sponsored by the school district. But like many things related to immigration, the rules have changed. The couple is now at a crossroads. Plan on a return to Nigeria or find a way to stay and grow their family here.
Personally, I'm not scared. The reason I'm not scared is whatever happen. But then I wouldn't want to be separated from my family.
I'm Jimmy Gutierrez. This is Status Pending, a podcast from WUWM, Milwaukee's NPR. Here we've been looking at how our immigration system works and doesn't, and the impact it has on the people going through it. Today, we are looking into work visas and one family caught in the uncertain middle, trying to establish roots. Reporters Catherine Kokel and Audrey Nowakowski take it from here.
Before we get into Chigozie and Chioma's story, we have to talk about the visas that they used to come here.
The H-1B is a temporary work visa. Congress allows 85,000 of them to be issued through a lottery each year. Certain jobs, like researchers and teachers, aren't capped, meaning they don't enter the lottery at all. While these types of visas are processed much faster, you're still not in control. It's all up to your employer.
These visas create a crucial but temporary pipeline of workers coming into the U.S. They fill what employers say are desperately needed jobs. Need proof? Look no further than your child's classroom.
Milwaukee Public Schools, also known as MPS, is one of many school districts that have struggled to find enough teachers. To help fill that gap, some districts turn to international teachers. MPS has more than 240 of them, and even that isn't enough. MPS started this past school year with nearly 100 teacher vacancies. Chioma sees how much they help firsthand.
Those on H-1B visa have really helped a lot in terms of MPS trying to handle shortage of teachers.
And it's bigger than just filling empty jobs. Chigozie says that international teachers are able to engage with students differently.
Then the students who have come in contact with us have found a different perspective of life, have known different way of doing things, have also been able to have educators who are caring, who are genuinely interested in their progress, who reach out to them, who treat them like siblings, like children.
To learn more about this couple's journey to come teach in Milwaukee, we visited Chigozie and Chioma at their home on the city's northwest side. It was a school night, and they were excited to meet us, but a little tired from the long day of corralling high schoolers. Chioma teaches math at one Milwaukee high school, and Chigozie teaches special education at another.
Chigozie and Chioma are a prime example of opposites attract. Chioma's default is a wide-toothed smile and a hearty laugh. Chigozie is far more reserved. It's easy to see how his presence calms the students that he works with.
How I describe myself is more like a teacher who helps students when I have conversation with the kids, there's this stigma about special education or students with disabilities. So I describe myself as one who helps students, irrespective of disability level or ability level.
As we got comfortable in their living room, they shared their story about how they came to Milwaukee. It starts in 2022. Chigozie was a lecturer at the University of Nigeria in Nsukka. He was finishing his PhD in political science, and Chioma was taking classes. The pair was about to get married. Chioma first learned about Milwaukee's teaching program from a friend, who was also a teacher. She was immediately interested, though she admits she actually knew nothing about the city. What did you know about Milwaukee? Anything?
Nothing, actually. I mean, I've heard about other places through the scholarship pathway. So I had a friend who was in Texas at that time, and I reached out to him. I'm like, what do you know about Milwaukee? And I'm like, oh, it's just like every other city, you know. Nothing special and all of that. So I started to look into it.
Despite that less than stellar sales pitch, she excitedly filled out an application. She was graduating with her bachelor's degree in education, and she loved the idea of seeing the world.
So it was just out of school and then, out. So I didn't really have that much space to live on my own or see life in a different way. So it was easy to move.
Chigozie wasn't quite so eager.
I was working in a college in the University of Nigeria, and I felt I had a comfortable life, I had a future, and then I was reluctant leaving Nigeria.
Outside of work, he enjoyed farming and spending time with his extended family. Was moving to the U.S. worth giving up everything he'd worked for in Nigeria?
Ultimately, Chigozie's decision came down to his future wife. He felt he needed to trust Chioma and support her desire for adventure.
She was interested in moving. Then I had to go with her.
Did you ever say to him, I'm going with her without you, or did you know he was going to come with you?
I knew he was going to come with me. And I also knew along the line that he was a little bit shaky. But I knew he was going to come with me.
At first, Chigozie applied for a spousal H-4 visa. It would have allowed him to accompany his wife to the U.S. and then apply for work authorization. But as Chioma began the H-1B process, Chigozie realized he could apply for the same visa. He could continue his passion for teaching in a new country.
So, now that they were both on the same page, the couple worked directly with the school district and its attorneys on the application process. H-1B is different because the employer is the one vouching for their workers. So there were no high-stakes, high-pressure interviews with immigration officials. The entire process took just under a year.
There was no kind of agency in between. So it was just MPS, the attorney, and us. So it was pretty easy and clear. You submit your credentials, go through the interview. If you're successful in the interview or not, you get a reply. And you hear from the attorney, and she walk you through the steps on how to start procedure for the immigration status.
So how much did it cost Chigozie and Chioma to come here?
The petition was free. MPS handled everything. And when we came here, MPS gave us some kind of relocation allowance.
The legal and paperwork side of hiring foreign teachers can cost $2,500 to $10,000. But if employers really need people, like MPS does, they'll pay.
Had Milwaukee Public Schools not taken care of all of their costs like travel, visa fees, and relocation expenses, Chigozie and Chioma wouldn't have been able to come to Milwaukee.
Chioma was eager to start working. She moved to the United States first by herself in January of 2023. When you packed to move here, what did you bring?
To move to this house?
To move to the U.S.? Did you come with suitcases and clothes and that was it? Did you bring teaching materials?
No.
I brought my clothes and food.
That was it.
It was clothes and some good African food.
Chigozie stayed in Nigeria for 5 more months to finish his PhD. When she first got here, Chioma stayed in a hotel with other international teachers. They were inundated with training on how to teach in MPS.
It was fun, actually. There was a lot of things that we had access to in the hotel. Mm-hmm. And we had other people who came along with us, so it was a good time to network with people you were gonna kind of work with, maybe in different schools, but your fellow home countrymen. So it was good network time.
Were there also other teachers from Nigeria there?
Yes, at that time, yes.
Any other countries?
Yes, I do. We do have some from the Philippines, from Ghana, from Kenya, from Colombia.
Something that blew my mind is that Chioma stepped foot in the U.S. for the first time just 2 weeks before the start of the spring semester. Chigozie moved to Milwaukee later that semester and started teaching in the fall. Pretty quickly, both of them realized that students in the U.S. behave very differently from students in Nigeria.
The student back in Nigeria are more interested in learning activities in and out of school, right? But here, I feel like there's a lot going on with the kids, there's a lot of distractions. They are willing to learn, some of them, but there's just a lot of things going on.
Chioma is right. Students in Milwaukee face a lot of challenges. Both Chigozie and Chioma were placed in high-poverty, low-performing schools.
Chigozie was navigating an even bigger personal difference. He went from being a college lecturer to teaching high schoolers.
The students in Nigeria were more motivated, and then the teacher in Nigeria would do more of the talking, instruction, and then conceptual understanding more than what you do here. And I had to figure in my head how I fit into that space. Although knowing also working in college, that was a bit more of the approach in college. So I thought the students could be engaged in conversation and then they participate, but it was different here. The students here are more passive, while back home they are more active. So that was what I needed to figure out how to go about it.
Both say they've learned a lot from their students. And Chioma discovered that sometimes classroom management means leaning into some humor.
But when I want to catch their attention, I switch to the Nigerian mode. I'm like,
wait, can you give me an example? I need to hear this. Okay, I'm in your class and I'm screwing around and I'm not listening to you.
You better sit down there now.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm going to call your mommy now if you don't sit down. And they're like, yes, Opa, why are you talking like that? I try to speak like them. Mm-hmm. I try to do the whole hand gesture and why are you acting like? I'm like, girl, hey queen, all those things. So I try to be like them and I try to be myself. Yeah. Sometimes they mimic me, sometimes it's all part of learning process,
Chigozie and Chioma's daughter Sochi was born in April 2024. She's a dual Nigerian and American citizen.
Let me tell you about Sochi. She is shy around strangers, but she has the same big smile as her mother. When we were at their house, Sochi was so interested in our microphones that we gave her an extra one to hold throughout the interview. Hi.
Do your own radio show.
Can you hear me? Can you? Oh.
What's that?
Kids love holding the microphone. Say your name.
Say hi.
She looked at us like we were crazy, but Sochi was a natural with the mic. She held it toward her mother when she spoke, just like I did. When her attention waned, Sochi put the microphone in my lap softly and went about teetering around the living room.
Chigozie and Chioma haven't seen their extended family for 3 years. They've been busy with their jobs and with Sochi, of course, but the rapid changes in immigration enforcement make them nervous to travel back home or even try to bring their families from Nigeria to Milwaukee.
That makes it all the more important that they connect with their past lives and introduce Sochi to her Nigerian heritage. At their house, Chioma led us downstairs to the basement that she has turned into a sewing space.
Oh my goodness.
I'm
trying not to step on anything.
I'm working at this right now.
Wow.
Bright, patterned Ankara fabric is spread all over the basement's clean floor, along with mismatching scraps and boxes of pins. Chioma orders the fabric from Nigeria to create ashoke headpieces. She's even handmade colorful dresses for some friends in Milwaukee.
In Nigeria, Chigozie was an active member of his church. When he came to Milwaukee, finding a Presbyterian congregation here was a non-negotiable.
And then we met a very, will I say, amazing pastor. He was so welcoming. He was caring. It wasn't awkward. It was like a home.
Chigozie and Chioma aren't the only African transplants in their church. West Granville Presbyterian helps to settle new people coming to work in the U.S., and so far, they've welcomed 5 families. There, Chigozie and Chioma have a community that understands some of what they went through to leave their lives in Nigeria and establish new ones here.
And it doesn't hurt to have some reminders of home. Chigozie and Chioma love to bring traditional African dishes like jollof rice to gatherings in the church's basement. They share it with people who have never had it before, but also with the people who are being reminded of home with every bite. We asked Chigozie and Chioma what they wished people knew about the immigration process.
They should understand people who come to this country have made a lot of sacrifice. People have left their former life and then they are here.
So sometimes as reporters, something happens that turns a story on its head while you're working on it. For us, that was a change to the H-1B visa program that brought Chigozie and Chioma to Milwaukee. In September, the Trump administration totally overhauled it. They attached a fee of $100,000 to all new visa applications.
Trump said that the H-1B program has been, quote, deliberately exploited to replace rather than supplement American workers with lower-paid, lower-skilled labor. But the reality is that H-1Bs are for skilled workers in jobs like tech, medicine, and education. As a result of this change, fewer people like Chigozie and Chioma will make the journey to work in the U.S.
Milwaukee Public Schools has paused its hiring of new international teachers. Since Chigozie and Chioma are already here, they should be able to renew their visas, if both they and their employer want that. Chigozie says they have to depend on MPS for updates.
Everything is in a state of flux. You never know what to expect at every moment. But overall, the school, the MPS board have been quite supportive, trying to share information and reassure us.
If Chigozie and Chioma want to stay longer, they might be able to renew their visas once to add another 3 years. The new $100,000 fee doesn't apply to renewals. They could also apply for green cards, which grant permanent residency.
But moving from an H-1B to a green card isn't a seamless process. It can take more than 2 years.
And as they enter the final year of their 3-year visas, they don't agree about whether to stay here long term. Chigozie really misses his family and the life he had in Nigeria, and the changes to the visa system and increased scrutiny of immigrants weighs on him.
So for us, being on H-1B, it poses some challenges, uncertainty. What happens next? How long do you have? How do you plan your life? Or what do you look forward to? Then we are not sure if you travel, how do you come back? What happens next?
But Chioma says that she'd stay here forever if MPS would have her. Her family is here with her husband and daughter. And her job is fulfilling, helping students fall in love with math just like she did. Here's Chioma and Sochi, who decided to speak up.
And we also learn a lot. I do learn a lot from those kids. They are smart, even if they don't think they are. But they are really, really, really super intelligent. But they don't just believe in themselves. But I love my kids.
While they have a lot they're grateful for, Chigozie and Chioma are facing the reality that their future is not fully in their hands. Nevertheless, they continue to put down roots.
And wait to see what the next seasons will bring.
Those were reporters Catherine Kokel and Audrey Nowakowski. Status Pending is produced by WUWM, Milwaukee's NPR, part of the NPR network. Our team includes
Audrey Nowakowski,
Xcaret Nunez, Emily Files,
Catherine Kokel,
Maria Peralta Arellano,
Valeria Navarro Villegas,
Samia Said,
and me, Jimmy Gutierrez. Music in this episode is by Blue Dot Sessions. Subscribe to the Status Pending podcast for more stories of people in Wisconsin navigating the U.S. immigration system.